Okay, so day number 23 of the Advent calendar. We have the VK7501K. Also, I have made reviews on most of these, I think. I don't know. Whichever tanks I haven't made reviews on, eventually I'll get round to doing them. But yeah, I have made a review on this thing when it first came out, I believe. This is actually going for a pretty decent price. It's 7,500 gold, which is, well, comparison to what the Defender was going for, quite cheap. It's not a very good tank, I'm going to tell you that right now. It can be fun because it does have 490 alpha, it has decent standard penetration, and it has, I mean, it has okay DPM considering that it is 490 alpha, and once you whack on, you know, like vents and you get rammer and stuff like that, it can be really nice. But the dispersion is not very good, so you are going to need vents, and you're going to need V-stab on this. Yeah, it can have a bit of a derpy gun. As you can see, if we put it into Tanks GG, it does not have very good dispersion values. Yeah, so you're going to need a V-stab. Again, preferably kind of bounty if you have it, because then that will make it a little bit better, but we'll just leave it as a normal one for now. And you're going to want to have a rammer so you can get the reload down a bit more and get up to kind of good DPM levels, around about 2k, and then probably vents, and that's kind of how you'll set it up. For crew skills and stuff like that, brothers in arms, obviously repairs, recon, situational awareness, and then you want safe stowage, and yeah, other stuff like off-road driving, smooth ride, snapshot, definitely. So yeah, they're kind of like the ones that you really want. It can be nice to have preventative maintenance because you do have a 15% fire chance, so that could help out quite a bit. Obviously it goes down to 11% if you get that, and then if you ran food on this thing, it will help it out quite a bit. Obviously the dispersion goes down to 0.34, which is a lot more manageable, and your view range does go up. The only other thing that you could probably do is go and put improved hardening on it, but it's probably not worth it all in all. Yeah, it will help you out because you will get more HP, but I don't know, like it doesn't really seem worth it, especially considering that the gun is not great. So anything that you can do to help out the gun is going to increase your chances of actually surviving. For field mods on this tank, probably want to go for maintaining speed across all terrain because it's not exactly the fastest. Even though that, yes, it does get good terrain resistances, I'd probably still go for that just to try and get the absolute most out of this tank. The only other thing that you could go for is if you put the turbo slot and then you put a turbo in there, and then maybe that will work, and then you could forgo vents and put the rammer on it. Depends if you want to go a little bit faster, then you'll go at 35. So it will help out the tank quite a bit, but you can't get rid of the rammer and you can't get rid of the V-stab for definite. Like, it needs those two things. This is probably a tank that I would recommend you go and get bounty rammer on, and also bounty V-stab, as I've already said, and then it's just going to help you out a lot. Obviously then you want to go for your next field mod, which is going to be the dispersion, so that your dispersion will go down to 0.34, and yeah, view range. Like, you need view range. And that's one of the reasons why you might not want to drop vents, because if you drop vents, then you don't get that 445 plus meters view range, but 442 if you are going to be using either HP boost or a turbo, depending on how you want to play the tank. It's manageable. 442 meters is fine for a heavy tank. So do I recommend you pick this tank up? Probably not. It's got a bit of a derpy gun, and it's got weak spots, obviously, on the side here, where you can see the cupola that sticks out, as you can see. It does become a little bit annoying, especially when you're trying to side scrape down like this, meaning that you can only realistically side scrape from this angle, which is a slight issue, because, yeah, and you can't always go for that angle. It doesn't have too much problems at the back. You've only got a little tiny lip, as you can see here. It's not like the Panzer 7 or, you know, tanks like that, where as soon as you side scrape, you then just get penned here. It's a decent side scraper, but only if you're side scraping to the right. So, I mean, it's not a bad choice, but considering that the E75 TS is in the game, I don't really see the reason for buying this, other than it's cheaper. So if you want a cheap heavy tank, it's going to earn you credits, of course, because it's got decent standard pen. It's not a terrible choice, but I wouldn't recommend it. So hopefully this was useful. Hopefully you enjoy. And I'll see you all tomorrow for the penultimate advent calendar deal.